If you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Weekend Recap on the Courtside Financial Podcast, a segment where we bring you a compilation of everything that went down throughout the week from a stories perspective. Before we get into this video, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any content that's coming in the future. Alright folks, so we'll kick things off with a bang. NIO, the Chinese electric vehicle juggernaut, has been making waves once again. Picture this: you're in the market for a jaw-dropping, sleek, new electric vehicle, and you stumble upon an offer that NIO has currently. A free NIO phone with the purchase of any of their 2024 lineup. But here's the kicker: it's only available for the month of March. Now, that definitely sounds like an electrifying deal, something that's going to drive sales, so I'm excited to see how this plays out. But let's get into the nitty-gritty details. NIO's innovative move to bundle their NIO phone with NIO vehicles isn't just about throwing in a freebie. It's a strategic play to enhance sales and the overall customer experience. With the NIO phone offering a car-centric connectivity experience for customers, seamlessly integrating with NIO's lineup of SUVs and sedans, it's a match made in automotive heaven. But hold on to your seats, folks, because there's more. NIO's diverse lineup includes the ES8, the ES7, the ES6, the EC7, the EC6, the ET5, the ET5 Touring. They have enough models to cater to every taste and preference. And with deliveries already underway and more models set to hit the road soon, the NIO community is already buzzing with excitement. So for those in markets where NIO is sold, there's never been a better time to buy. Alright, let's shift gears and talk power. NIO isn't just revolutionizing the way we drive, they're also redefining the very essence of power with their groundbreaking strategy for long life battery. So what's the deal with NIO's battery as a service offering, you ask? NIO's battery as a service offering was introduced back in August 2020, documented on this channel, of course. It allows users to purchase the vehicle body and rent the battery. And that significantly reduces the threshold for purchasing an electric car, given that the battery is one of the most expensive components. And with monthly leasing options starting at just 980 RMB, it's a compelling option for many. Opens it up to a wider pool of consumers. But here's where things get even more exciting. NIO's focus on long life batteries isn't just about extending the lifespan of their vehicles. It's about reimagining the future of mobility. With enhancements in battery life, efficiency, and operational longevity, NIO is paving the way for a sustainable future. And let's not forget about NIO's commitment to innovation. With an upgrade to their battery as a service offering on the horizon, NIO's doubling down on their mission to make electric vehicles accessible to all. So whether you're a seasoned NIO enthusiast or a curious newcomer, there's no denying the electrifying potential of long life batteries, and we should hear more about this on March 14th, which is tomorrow. Third topic is going to be around Alps. So we're diving headfirst into the world of NIO's mysterious second brand, which is codenamed Alps. Speculation has been running rampant about this project, and today I'm here to peel back the layers and uncover the truth. So what's the deal with Unravel, you ask? Well, here's the scoop. The project is currently codenamed Alps, but rumors suggest that NIO could be unveiling it as Unravel. Now hold your horses, because that's not all. NIO currently has the trademark. They own the trademark to Unravel, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the mix. But wait, there's more. There's exclusive spy shots that have surfaced, giving us a glimpse into NIO's latest venture. With a focus on affordability and cutting-edge technology, this brand is certain to make a splash. I honestly think that this brand could even outsell NIO, and that would be a great thing. NIO's founder, chairman, and CEO William Li even hinted at Alps' potential to disrupt the market. Mass deliveries are slated for later this year, and the stage is set for an electrifying showdown between competitors. So buckle up because the future of mobility is going to get even more exciting here. So let's jump right in. The recent buzz about Chinese new energy vehicles flooding the US market has raised quite the storm, particularly with President Biden's announcement of investigation into Chinese connected vehicles. But as we discussed in the last installment of this, is this truly about security, or is there more that lies beneath the covers? It seems like a classic case of political correctness during election year, doesn't it? President Biden's announcement, conveniently made in Michigan, where I'm actually from, a pivotal swing state with deep ties to the automotive industry, makes it look like this is a strategic move to court voters rather than a genuine concern with national security. The numbers tell an interesting story too. Despite the rhetoric of Chinese cars dominating American roads, their actual market share is close to zero. So is the fear warranted, or are we witnessing an attempt to stifle competition? And let's not forget the global landscape. The shift away from electric vehicles in the US and Europe raises questions. Is this a strategic retreat, or are we witnessing the beginning of a return to oil movement? But amidst all this, the Chinese electric vehicle industry continues to surge forward, driven by a strategic policy aimed to reduce oil dependence. It's obviously all a complex dynamic and dance of geopolitics. Also, economics. Oil makes so much money in the US. So these are all things to consider with electric vehicles being positioned as a potential solution to long-standing energy challenges faced all over the world. So where does this leave us? It's a battle between NIO and Morpheus, China's growing new energy vehicle industry, and the already established players in the West. The outcome of all of this remains uncertain. In a surprising turn of events, Apple has been nudged by Brussels to rewrite its playbook. For the first time ever, the Cupertino juggernaut is being forced to adapt and adjust to conform to the rules of the European Union. It's a move that's sending shockwaves throughout Silicon Valley and beyond. Last week, Apple unleashed iOS 17.4, a software update that shook up the world of Apple entirely. But the real game changer, the EU's big power move for Apple to open up its App Store, allowing alternative marketplaces and reshaping its business terms. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Today we're peeling back the layers to reveal the latest twist in this saga. Apple's newest move, allowing users to download applications directly from developers' websites. Yes, you heard that right, straight from the source. Picture this: Meta, formerly known as Facebook, running its own app marketplace exclusively in the EU. It's definitely a seismic shift in the tech landscape, and one that raises eyebrows and questions alike. But wait, there's more. Apple isn't just opening up the floodgates for app markets alone, they're rolling out a red carpet for developers too. Say hello to web distribution. Later this spring, app developers will have the power to bypass the App Store altogether. With web distribution, they can offer their iOS apps directly from their websites. It's a move that promises newfound freedom for developers, and conversely, a headache for Cupertino's app gatekeepers. But before you rush to bookmark your favorite developer's website, there's a catch. Developers must adhere to a list of strict criteria set forth by Apple. From transparency in data collection to compliance with EU's regulations, it's a high-stakes game of digital cat and mouse. And if you thought the party ended there, think again. Apple is loosening its grip on external transactions, giving developers more opportunity to provide discounts. It's a move that signals a shift in e-commerce and paves the way for a new era. But amidst the fanfare and frenzy, one question remains. What does this mean for the future of the App Store? Will the European intervention set a precedent for global tech regulation? Only time will tell. Imagine this: a dazzling spectacle unfolds as Fei Li, known as the godmother of artificial intelligence, takes the center stage. She delivers a passionate plea to President Biden, urging for national AI sanctuary to empower our brightest minds. But that's not where the story ends. Her passionate plea reverberates far and wide, even infiltrating the hollowed chambers of the State of the Union address. Now let's fast forward to the battlefield. On the one side, we have the tech behemoths armed with money and resources to unleash the next AI revolution. But on the other side stands the academia, scrabbling for morsels as they struggle to keep up with the breakneck pace of innovation in this space. It's a clash of titans with the future of AI hanging in the balance. But hold on to your seats, folks, because things get more interesting as the disparity between academia and industry widens. There's a fierce battle for talent on both ends of the spectrum. Silicon Valley, with its seductive promises of astronomical salaries and mind-bending projects, they lure the brightest minds away from the halls of academia. It's a seismic drain that's leaving universities reeling in its wake. Yet amidst the chaos, a beacon of hope emerges. Initiatives like the Create AI Act have emerged, promising to level the playing field and foster collaboration between academia and industry. But will it be enough to tip the scales in the favor of innovation? As we navigate this turbulent landscape, one thing is abundantly clear. The future of AI hangs in the balance. Is this something that we want corporatized? Will it be driven by the relentless pursuit for profit, or will it be driven by the hunger and thirst for knowledge? The answers lie in the collective actions of each and every one of us. But enough from me, I definitely want to know what you guys think, so make sure you leave a comment down below. Are we heading towards an AI utopia or towards a dystopian nightmare where everyone's not included? Sound off in the comment sections below. Kicking things off, some big news from the EV market. NIO's about to launch its sub-brand Unravel, which we talked about yesterday. Yesterday was speculation. Today it's confirmed that the name will be Unravel. Now I know what you're thinking. What's the deal with the name? Well, buckle up, because it's not just about branding, it's about family and joy. According to NIO's founder William Li, Unravel isn't just another mass market brand. It's a promise of happiness on the road. In a recent press conference, he explained that the Chinese name Lei Dao translates to managing the family well, emphasizing joy and cost consciousness. And with an expected launch in May, Unravel is poised to shake up the EV market, promising a ride that's both joyful and economical. But wait, there's more. NIO is not just unleashing this brand, they're also revamping their battery as a service offering. In the face of fierce competition, they're slashing prices and offering sweet deals to entice buyers. It's not just about cutting costs, it's about making EVs more accessible. Under the new battery as a service plan, customers can expect lower monthly rentals and more flexibility when it comes to owning the battery. With reduced upfront cost and exclusive benefits, NIO's making it easier than ever to own an electric vehicle. And with incentives like free battery swaps and discounted purchases, it's a win-win for both NIO and their customers. And last but not least, NIO continues to forge ahead by signing this deal with CATL. This deal is to develop long life batteries, with a focus on extending the battery's lifetime to reduce replacement costs. This partnership could certainly be a game changer for the EV industry. As NIO CEO William Li puts it, addressing battery lifespan issues is a pressing task. But with their battery swap technology and their R&D capabilities, NIO's leading the charge towards a greener, more sustainable future. Apple has been making waves once again with its recent acquisition of Canadian AI startup Darwin AI. So what do we know about this acquisition? Well, Apple's acquisition of Darwin AI is significant for a multitude of reasons. Firstly, it's a clear indicator of Apple's ambitions to push into generative AI technology. Darwin AI has been at the forefront of developing AI systems that are not only impactful, but also powerful, compact, and efficient. This aligns perfectly with Apple's strategy of bringing AI directly onto its devices. They like this route rather than relying on cloud-based solutions. So what specific technologies or expertise is Apple gaining from the acquisition? Well, one of Darwin's AI's key innovations is making AI systems smaller and faster, which is crucial for deploying on endpoints like iPhones or iPads. Additionally, Darwin AI has crafted some technology for visually inspecting components during the manufacturing process, which could have some implications for Apple's supply chain operations. It sounds like Apple's making some strategic moves here, but do we have any insights on how this is going to affect Apple's products and services directly? Well, the answer to that question is Apple hasn't provided any specific details just yet, but we could speculate that the integration of Darwin AI into Apple's operating system, iOS, is going to bolster some pretty significant updates down the line. We might see some enhancements in areas such as customer service, presentation creating, and even coding assistance with the next version of Xcode. Certainly something to look forward to, but let's talk about the broader implications of this acquisition. Despite Apple being a leader in many areas of technology, they've admittedly lagged in the generative AI space. The emergence of tools like ChatGPT by OpenAI or Google's Bard have definitely highlighted this gap that Apple is trying to fill. However, with the acquisition of Darwin AI, Apple seems poised to play catch-up here. This move signals Apple's commitment to breaking new ground, and that's what CEO Tim Cook has promised. Now, I did a video not too long ago about how Apple needs to do more in this space, and so shortly after, we see that they acquired Darwin AI. People were telling me that I was crazy for saying Apple isn't doing too much innovation in the AI space. Well, they clearly felt the same way, which is why they're making this acquisition. It's clear that Apple's doubling down on AI and that this acquisition could have far-reaching implications. So picture this, the iconic sports brand Adidas, known for their 3 stripes, was cruising along, skies full of sunshines and rainbows, until they hit a massive pothole in 2023. What happened, you ask? Well, let me break it down for you again if you're new to the channel. And if you haven't seen my previous videos or you haven't seen the stories or headlines floating around the internet. Adidas slumped to a rare annual loss. That means that they're losing money. They lost money all 2023. A company as big as Adidas should not be losing money at this point. They're a very mature company. This is due to falling sales, which are due to breakup with the rapper Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. So falling sales in North America and a huge tax bill. That's right, everyone. Adidas found itself in the red after parting ways with Kanye West. The breakup wasn't just emotional, it hit Adidas hard in the wallet. And let's not even forget about that tax bill. Yikes. Now let's talk numbers. Adidas posted an annual loss of $63 million in 2023. That's no small change, so what went wrong? Well, it's the perfect storm of sorts. The fallout with Ye led to lower sales across the world for the Yeezy branded products. That hit their revenue pretty hard, and then on top of that, they faced a gigantic tax bill that further dented their bottom line. It sounds like they faced some serious headwinds, but what about their performance in other markets? Interestingly enough, despite the challenges in North America, Adidas saw positive growth elsewhere. Sales in China rose more than 8% last year. That's nothing to scoff at. Definitely some silver lining there. CEO Bjorn Gulden, he mentioned the need for Adidas to invest more in sports like basketball and baseball for Adidas to win over more American consumers. Do you think this strategy will pay off? It's a smart move. American consumers have an affinity for sports like baseball and basketball. Tapping into these markets could give Adidas the fuel that it needs to bounce back. It seems like Adidas might have some rough roads ahead, but with the proper strategy, maybe they can bounce back. We'll see. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Did Adidas make the wrong move by splitting up with Ye? Did they do the right thing? I want to know what you guys think. I don't have the answer. So close your eyes and envision a world where whispers carry more weight than words, where backroom deals are struck under the cover of darkness, and where the hunt for high-performance GPUs is none other than a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. This is the black market for GPUs, a shadowy realm where demand knows no bounds and supply is as scarce as a diamond in the rough. Now let me regale you with a tale that sounds like it's straight out of a cyberpunk thriller. Imagine Oracle's Larry Ellison and Tesla's Elon Musk, two titans of industry sitting down to have dinner with Nvidia's Jensen Huang. What transpired next? Well, let's just say it involves sushi, secrets, and a desperate bid for GPUs. A bid that would make your head spin faster than a turbocharged Tesla. But it's not just Silicon Valley's heavyweights that find themselves drawn into this web. Oh no, we've got Cisco rolling out armored trucks to protect their so precious GPUs. And Chinese companies resorting to smuggling tactics to skirt export bans and get their hands on these coveted chips. It's a high-stake game of cat and mouse with fortunes hanging in the balance, of untold riches driving even the most cautious players to the table. And speaking of GPUs, let's talk market chip scarcity, a tale of woe and frustration that's playing out on a global scale. With the demand for high-performance GPUs soaring to unprecedented heights, chip shortages have become a bane of tech companies everywhere, leading to delays, price hikes, and frantic bidding wars. From automakers struggling to meet production targets, to gamers facing inflated prices and longer wait times, the ripple effect of the chip shortage is felt far and wide. It's a perfect storm for supply chain disruptions, geopolitical tensions, and unforeseen challenges, leaving the most seasoned industry veterans even scratching their head. So what's the solution to this tangled web of scarcity and demand? Well, if I had that answer, I'd probably be a millionaire. With no easy answers in sight, we're in for a bumpy ride as we navigate these waters of the GPU black market and chip scarcity across the entire market. And there you have it, folks, another exhilarating journey throughout the highs and the lows of the business world as it relates to technology. To fully grasp the gravity of this situation, first, let's unravel the threads of the narrative. Director Wes Walker had a bold assertion of creating the world's first AI-generated sports advertisement. This ad immediately captured attention. However, after the dust settled, allegations had surfaced suggesting that elements of this ad may have borrowed things from pre-existing work without giving them their due credit. The essence of this debate extends far beyond mere attribution. At its core lies a fundamental question about the integrity of the creative process in an age of burgeoning artificial intelligence. Are we witnessing a paradigm shift where innovation trumps authenticity, or is there an ethical gray area that demands more scrutiny? As we ponder these questions, it becomes evident that the ramifications of this controversy reverberate throughout the creative landscape. The clash between technological advancement and creative responsibility underscores a critical juncture in the evolution of advertising. Now let's turn our attention to the response elicited from within the industry. A chorus of voices ranging from seasoned creatives to emerging talents have united in demanding accountability and transparency. The call for brands to uphold the principles of integrity and fair attribution resonate as a clarion call for ethical conduct. Yet amidst the debate, another dimension emerges: the future of creativity itself. How do we navigate an increasingly complex terrain where AI technology intersects with human ingenuity? Can we actually strike a harmonious balance between technological innovation and integrity? These aren't just rhetorical questions, but pressing questions that demand attention, thoughtful reflection, and decisive action. As guardians of creativity, it falls upon us to uphold the sacredity of our craft and ensure that innovation serves as a force for good. And so with that, we draw the curtain on today's exploration, but we're left with a potent reminder. A reminder that amidst a world of technological prowess, integrity must remain our guiding compass. Join us in our ongoing quest to unravel the mysteries of business, technology, and ethics. Now picture this, a live broadcast featuring a CEO, and not just any CEO, but one from the automotive industry, captivating millions of viewers, turning skeptics into fans and stirring up some spicy discussions online. That's the power of Lee Bin, the man behind NIO's wheel. Literally and figuratively. Lee Bin's day was packed tighter than a sardine can, but what really stole the show was his Douyin live broadcast. It was a spectacle to behold, drawing in over 10 million viewers, and I'm not talking about just any kind of viewers. These viewers were eager and engaged, enthusiasts from all corners of the automotive world. Now, what was the secret sauce behind this virtual extravaganza? Well, it wasn't Lee Bin flying solo. He brought the whole NIO squad along for the ride. From the president to the VP and even his better half, Wang Yeezy, was in on the action. It was a true effort, folks. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. You see, the internet can be a treacherous sea filled with negativity and criticism. Yet, amidst the tempest of bad comments, Li Bin stood tall, weathering the storm with elegance and poise. And let's not forget Wang Yeezy, who addressed some of these comments head on, proving that sometimes honesty is the best policy. But amidst the chaos and the controversies, there were moments of pure warmth and connection. Li Bin's hometown folks rallied behind him, reminding us all the power of community and solidarity. But let's not forget the real star of the show, NIO's groundbreaking innovation. Li Bin didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk, showcasing NIO's commitments to pushing the boundaries in what's possible when it comes to sustainable mobility. From educating viewers about NIO's battery as a service and the upgrades that it's going to be receiving, while also speaking on the Unravel or Ladao brand, Li Bin proved that it's not just about selling cars. It's about fostering a sense of community and bringing joy to families across the globe. There you have it, folks. Yesterday was a whirlwind of a day for Li Bin and NIO alike, but what's next for the dynamic duo? Well, only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. The internet may be vast and unpredictable, but with leaders like Li Bin, the future of automotive innovation looks brighter than ever. So let's dive right in. These leaked documents have revealed some not so conventional policies related to SpaceX employee stock program. Let's walk through some of the key points. So according to documents reviewed by TechCrunch, SpaceX has some rather unique stipulations regarding employee stock awards. One of the notable clauses is the prohibition on selling stocks if an employee is deemed to have misbehaved, including committing an act of dishonesty against the company. It's certainly intriguing. It seems like SpaceX is taking a firm stance on employee conduct. But how does that affect employees? Well, it creates a chilling effect on staff. Many employees might not even be aware of these conditions when they initially sign up. And if SpaceX bars an employee from selling stock during tender offers, they're essentially left in limbo until SpaceX goes public, which is uncertain. It sounds like a precarious situation for employees, but why does SpaceX have such stringent policies? To me, it seems like a strategy to maintain control over their workforce even after employees have left the company. By restricting the sale of the stock and including clauses regarding termination for cause, SpaceX maintains a level of influence over former employees. It's fascinating stuff, but now let's talk about the risk associated with these leaked documents, particularly those related to SpaceX CEO Elon Musk. The documents highlight the dependency on Elon Musk's leadership and the potential impact of his actions or public statements on SpaceX market cap. There's also mention of a settlement, an SEC settlement involving Musk and its implications for SpaceX. It's clear that Musk's influence extends far beyond Tesla. So what does this mean for the future of all SpaceX employees? While SpaceX is undoubtedly a pioneering company in the aerospace industry, the revelations shed light on the risk and complexities associated with working for a high-profile private company. Employees must not only navigate the challenges of their work, but also the intricacies of their compensation. It's a reminder that even in the realm of cutting-edge technology and innovation, the business side of things can be just as intricate. Well, folks, it seems like the tech giant Apple has found itself in the middle of some legal turbulence. The settlement stems from allegations that CEO Tim Cook misled investors back in 2018 during an earnings call, particularly regarding the iPhone's demand in China. Investors claim that Tim Cook painted a rosier picture than reality, leading to a sharp drop in Apple stock when revenue guidance fell by a staggering $9 billion. Now here's the kicker, Apple hasn't exactly owned up for any wrongdoing. In fact, they vehemently denied any violation of US security law. But actions speak louder than words, right? So what's in this hefty settlement, you ask? Well, it's a jaw-dropping $490 million. Yes, you heard that right. This ain't chump change, folks. But hold your horses, because it's not a done deal just yet. The settlement still needs a nod from the California federal judge overseeing the case. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for any updates on that front. And let's not forget the backdrop against this legal drama unfolding. We're talking about a time where US-China tensions are at an all-time high. A trade war was brewing and Apple's fortunes in the Chinese market were under intense scrutiny. It was a perfect storm to say the least. But here's where things get interesting. This statement underscores the precarious dance companies like Apple must perform when providing revenue guidance. In the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, Apple opted to steer away from formal guidance in its quarterly report, sparking criticism over lack of transparency. And let's not forget the elephant in the room, Apple's decision to halt disclosure of sales of the iPhone units back in 2018. Some critics argue that this move further muddied the water for investors, leaving them in the dark about the performance of one of Apple's key performance metrics. Now let's hear from some experts. Gene Munster at Deepwater Asset Management expressed surprise in Apple's decision to settle, noting that such lawsuits could deter companies from presenting forward-looking guidance. He feels like it's a win for a few but a loss for many. And as if Apple didn't have enough on its plate, there's the ever-looming specter of geopolitical tensions between the United States and China. Not to mention stiff competition from the likes of Huawei in the mobile phone arena. Well, there you have it, folks, another whirlwind in the world of business, technology, finance, whatever you want to call it. The tale centers around Sam Bankman-Fried, the once celebrated founder of FTX, who now faces the wrath of the justice system for orchestrating what some are calling one of history's largest financial frauds. Picture this, a meteoric rise to success, a meteoric rise to fame, propelled by a wave of success, celebrity endorsements, and a Super Bowl advertisement. Those are not cheap. But beneath the glitz and glamour lies a web of deception and betrayal.
I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every time. Because at least as a rich man, when I have to face my problems, I show up in the back of a limo wearing a $2,000 suit and a $40,000 gold watch.
Prosecutors are seeking a staggering 40 to 50 years in federal prison for Bankman-Fried. They paint a picture of greed, hubris, and a relentless pursuit of power and wealth. According to court documents, Bankman-Fried stands accused of siphoning billions from unsuspecting investors and customers, all to fuel his insatiable desires. But what drives a man to such extremes? Prosecutors point to a dangerous concoction of ambition, rationalization, and blatant disregard for the law. They describe Bankman-Fried's actions as a brazen disrespect for society's norms, leaving a trail of devastation in his wake. Yet amidst the accusations and impending sentencing, there's a plea for leniency from the defense. They argue that Bankman-Fried is not the notorious mastermind being portrayed by the media, but rather a first-time non-violent offender, caught in a whirlwind of circumstances. It's a case that raises questions about accountability, responsibility, and the true cost of ambition. As the courtroom drama unfolds, the world watches with bated breath awaiting the final verdict. Join us next as we continue to follow the developments of this story and how things turn out. Alright folks, so let's talk beauty and business in this episode. Hailey Bieber, the name synonymous with fashion and flair, made headlines when she launched her skincare brand Rhode back in 2022. But it seems like her empire is facing some turbulence right now. Customers are fuming over unanswered inquiries, with complaints flooding Rhode's social media. The Rhode rage began when customers aired their grievances on Instagram, citing missing orders and lackluster communication. The frustration reached a boiling point as fans questioned Rhode's professionalism handling inquiries via Instagram DM. But amidst the skincare storm, there's a rumor mill swirling. Speculations about Hailey and her pop star husband, Justin Bieber, possibly heading for Splitsville and have been making rounds. From Hailey allegedly ditching her wedding ring to solo outings, the whispers are growing louder and louder. Could this marital turbulence be affecting Rhode's customer service? Are Hailey's personal matters spilling over into her professional ventures? Now let's untangle this web of intrigue. The Rhode saga serves as a stark reminder that in business, maintaining customer trust is a non-negotiable. Communication is key, and Rhode needs to acknowledge these missteps publicly. They need to reassure their customers of their commitment to rectify the situation. Implementing robust customer support channels and streamlining the order fulfillment process are imperative. Haley's personal matters should remain separate from Rhodes, ensuring the brand's longevity and trustworthiness. NIO, the heavyweight in the electric vehicle game, is making a power move with their latest announcement. Picture this, a 75 kilowatt hour battery only using LFP cells. That's right folks, they're ditching the hybrid setup for a full LFP experience. What does this mean? Well, it's not just about reducing costs, it's also about optimizing performance. Now you might be wondering, what's the big deal with LFP cells? Sure, they're cheaper and have longer lifespans, but they do have some drawbacks. Poorer energy density and low temperature performance, to name a couple. But fear not, because NIO's not just jumping on the bandwagon, they're driving it. With their upgraded pack, NIO's boosting charging power, shortening charging times, and boosting performance, even in chilly weather. And get this, they've tackled the tricky SoC issue head on, achieving accuracy that rivals hybrid setups. That's some serious slam dunking in the battery department if you ask me. So overall, what's the verdict? With NIO's sights on delivering these bad boys in their 2024 models, it's safe to say they're charging full speed ahead into the EV race. In the world of electric vehicles, there's always room for a contender. So that's why we're talking about Unravel versus Tesla today, NIO sub-brand. Enter Unravel, the latest player in town, brought to you by none other than NIO. But wait, isn't NIO all about luxury vehicles and premium rides? Well, think again, because Unravel's shaking things up with a focus on affordability. With whispers of being the Tesla killer, Unravel's debut model, the L60 SUV, is poised to go head-to-head with Tesla's Model Y. And here's the kicker, it's not all about price. Unravel's packing some serious performance in their ride. They're aiming to undercut the Tesla Model Y by 10%. Now, getting all this tech, all this performance, and affordability, that's what I call a competitive edge. But the real question is, can Unravel pull it off? We're always excited about the new kid on the block, but it's going to be interesting to see how they execute. With NIO having all the infrastructure to back their game-changing battery swap approach, Unravel's got the right man in their corner. And while global aspirations might raise some eyebrows, their strategic approach is a calculated play in the EV game. So buckle up folks, because Unravel's gearing up for a showdown. And with NIO calling the shots, this match just got a whole lot more interesting. Now let's cut to the chase. A TikTok ban is looming on the horizon, and it's not just a distant threat anymore. The House has given a nod to a bill that could enforce TikTok's divestment or an outright ban from the United States. And guess what? Now it's off to the Senate. But hey, before we dive deeper, let's give credit where it's due. This story is sourced from TechCrunch, your go-to hub for all things tech. So what's the deal here? According to TechCrunch, TikTok users are not taking this lying down. They spoke with some of them and they're fired up. Small businesses in particular are feeling the heat. But hey, what about the option of TikTok being divested from its parent company, ByteDance? That seems like a viable solution, right? Well, not so fast. The Chinese government isn't exactly thrilled about that idea. So it's a sticky situation to say the least. Now here's where things get spicy. We've got an anonymous commenter dropping some bombs. They're not exactly a TikTok enthusiast, but they're speaking up nonetheless. They argue that TikTok falls under the umbrella of media that's protected by the good old constitutional amendment. Plus they're throwing shade at government intervention in the economy, championing that sweet capitalist spirit. But hold on, are they onto something here? Here's what the anonymous commenter said in its entirety. First off, I'm not a TikToker. I have to compete with it for attention on a daily basis, but TikTok is media. Media is protected by our constitutional amendment and is not allowed to be touched by the government. The government has no business messing with the economy or commercial enterprises. That's what makes our economy capitalist. If TikTok is causing problems, it's because of the people using it. All right, listeners, so let's unpack this a little bit. TikTok isn't just some app for sharing cat videos and dance challenges. It's become a cultural juggernaut with influencers, businesses, and everyday users flocking to its platform. But where do we draw a line between government oversight and preserving the free market? It's definitely a conundrum for sure. But here's the $1 million question. Should TikTok be treated like a national security threat? or is it simply a scapegoat for deeper political tension? That's going to be it for this episode of Week in Recap for the Courtside Financial Podcast. If you found any of this information valuable, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and definitely leave a comment down below. Genuinely interested in hearing what you guys think about these this new style of videos that we're doing. Anyways, that's going to be it. I'll catch you guys next time.